Good morning. I am Cornell's chaplain, Leah White. As you are so moved by your own faith and conscience, please join me as I offer our prayer of invocation. To the one who has called us each by name, we invite your presence as we celebrate the accomplishments of this graduating class. As our students prepare to walk across the stage, may we pause in prayerful gratitude for all that has made this moment possible. For the families and others whose shoulders they stand upon, those who supported and sacrificed to see this hopeful moment. For faculty, staff, and administrators who challenged and offered care throughout their academic journey. For fellow students from whom they've learned about friendship and collaboration. As our graduating students hear their own names spoken aloud today, may we each hear your voice offer a word of purpose for our lives. Empower us to live lives that follow our calling, that we may strengthen and care for one another and your good earth as we walk together through this life. May we revel in this moment as we remember together and send these students across this threshold and into the rest of their lives. Amen.
You may be seated, but I guess I don't need that. I'm Jan Thomas, graduate of the class of 1980 and chair of the Cornell College Board of Trustees. As chair, I now convene this commencement ceremony honoring the graduates of the class of 2026 and bringing to a close the academic year. In this exercise, Cornell College renews its life and mission and recognizes the achievements of its newest alumni. I now call upon Mr. Jonathan Brand, president of the college, to preside over these festivities on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the Cornell faculty.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome our graduates, our parents, families, and friends all here together as we officially today bring to a close our 173rd year. We come together to celebrate a milestone, one that is marked by dedication, growth, and community. Today, we are joined by representatives from all across Cornell, students, alumni, emeriti faculty, current faculty, staff, and members of the Board of Trustees. Of course, a special thank you has to go out to our Commencement Committee, as well as the dedicated staff from Marketing and Communications, Academic Affairs, Facility Services, and Bon Appetit Food Service. Without their hard work, today would not be possible. So, to our graduates, today is about you. It's about your journey, your achievements, that exciting path behind you and also in front of you. You have met the expectations set forth by our faculty, and in so doing, today you will earn the distinction of being graduates of Cornell College. This day also, of course, marks more than just your own accomplishment. It's also a celebration of the dreams and the hopes of your families and your friends, everyone who is here today, who has supported you in reaching this moment. And yes, I've said this in the past, it's also Mother's Day. And so I think it's only appropriate that we take a moment and we honor, recognize mothers, grandmothers, stepmothers, mothers-in-law, anyone who thinks they serve in even a remotely maternal role. So to our students, I ask that you rise, I invite you to rise, turn, and celebrate and congratulate the mothers here. And that concludes today's ceremony. Okay.
Thank you, President Brand. Good morning. I am Kate Copper, Cornell's Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs and Professor of Education. In a little while, I will have the honor of reading the names of the graduates and their cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude distinctions for the Cornell class of 2026 as they cross the stage. We will build toward that moment by hearing from speakers selected by the graduates and honoring several faculty who have contributed to graduates' achievements. It is our tradition to welcome a member of the senior class to deliver our first address. Jack Carlson, will you please come to our stage as senior speaker? Jack completed an individualized program receiving a BA in sports journalism, which mainly consisted of kinesiology and English courses. He came to the Hilltop from Morgantown, West Virginia, and will be returning to his home state. Jack has been known as the voice of the Cornell Rams athletics for the past 4 years, whether it be as the play-by-play live stream announcer, the public address announcer at home events, or listening to the podcast he created featuring interviews with student athletes, coaches, and administrators. After he finished classes in December, he joined the admissions team in January and February in an interim role to help with the fall 2026 recruits. Please welcome Jack.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Mount Vernon, Iowa for the 2026 Cornell College Commencement Ceremony. My name is Jack Carlson. Some of you may know me as Jumpin' Jack from my work as the student voice of 323 Cornell athletics events and 46 Rams Athletics Center podcast episodes over the past 4 years. I could not be happier to be your student speaker this morning. For each of my broadcasts, I begin with a scene setter, something to get everybody ready for the event. My role this morning is very similar, to welcome everyone and celebrate this incredible graduating class. So, here goes. In the heartland today, the Cornell College Class of 2026 gathers inside the small athletic and wellness center together with friends, family, faculty, and staff to bookend a 4-year chapter in this school's story. It was a sweltering hot Iowa summer day 4 years ago when many of today's graduates started this journey on the front lawn of College Hall for Convocation. I know because I was there, sweating. Whether you began your time sitting with your new student orientation flock group at Convocation or joined us along the way within these 4 years, we have all banded together into one Ramley. Regardless of our respective paths to Cornell College, each student has left a unique and indelible impact on the campus. And as we conclude this chapter in each of our lives, we each carry the distinction of a specialized college education that only exists in a handful of other institutions, the block plan. Hall of Fame quarterback Tom Brady once said, "To be successful, you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't: consistent, determined, and willing to work for it." Cornell College's one course at a time curriculum demands this work ethic, and the class of 2026 has risen to the occasion time and time again. Our consistency and determination in the classroom, athletics, student organizations, work study positions, theater and music groups, and so much more have shaped this special community on the Hilltop, propelling each of us to this day when we walk across the stage and can say, "Mission accomplished. We did it." The motto around here is that we can do anything in 18 days. I truly believe that our experience of the block plan gives us a leg up as we go into the real world. In fact, I can attest to this firsthand. I began my professional broadcasting career in late March with the West Virginia Metro News radio network. On my 3rd day on the job, I was sent out by myself to interview a U.S. Senator. Yep, a U.S. Senator. By myself, no press credentials printed yet, and oh, did I mention I had to run to the press conference because I parked in the wrong parking garage. Talk about learning on the fly. I really believe the skills we develop in our one course at a time education prepare us perfectly to adapt quickly and get the job done, which is precisely what happened with my interview that day. At the conclusion of my interview, when Senator Capito asked how long I had worked for Metro News, I could proudly say, 3 days. What else is there to say other than we can do anything in 18 days or something like that? So where did the confidence come from? That confidence comes from what we accomplished here on the Hilltop. The guidance from our peers, our amazing faculty and staff, coaches, mentors, and club sponsors who shaped us day by day into the outstanding graduates we each are today. Additionally, we are all surrounded by our wider support circle, some of whom are here this morning. You see, on this occasion of graduation, we recognize not only our accomplishments in our college years, but also those who have supported, guided, and mentored us to reach this special day. Could each graduate support circle stand at this time, including all faculty and staff here today? Class of 2026, let's give them a round of applause. You may be seated, thank you. To everyone who has supported this incredible graduating class, we thank you. I spent a lot of time thinking about what message to leave you with today. I kept coming back to what my late grandfather, Dr. Niedermeyer, who spent 42 years as an accounting professor at West Virginia University, would always say to his students. Don't wait, get around to it. What did he mean by this saying? He wanted to drive a message home to his students to not just put something on a list and say, I will get to that someday. Instead, he encouraged and empowered students to get around to it. Class of 2026, our experiences at Cornell College have encouraged and empowered us. Whatever you want to do in this life, chase it. Jumpin' Jack and Dr. Niedermeyer say, get around to it. Roll Rams forever. I'm Jack Carlson. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jack. Professor Phil Lucas, will you please come to the podium? The faculty, yes, absolutely. The faculty address is delivered by a professor nominated by the senior class. Their selection recognizes the strong contribution they have made to lives and learning of members of this class. This year, we are honored to have Professor of History Phil Lucas as our faculty speaker. Phil has taught at Cornell since 1984, and some of his courses include Origins of the American Nation, Civil War and Reconstruction, and Baseball, the American Game. Phil earned his PhD from the other Cornell University. Good morning, Phil.
Thank you very much. Selected by the senior class, and I know I had the same reaction you did. I got your emails, lots of emails, and so I demanded a recount. President Brand assured me that they had already recounted the votes 3 times, and that the administration is just as surprised. So I'm feeling a whole lot better about this. I am truly honored by this opportunity. And one of the coolest things I get to say to you is that on behalf of the entire faculty, I congratulate you on your impressive achievement. Now, for an American historian in 2026, my topic today has already been decided. In 1776, 250 years ago, the American revolutionaries faced 2 unprecedented problems. First, how to throw off the British monarchy. Second, if they succeeded, spoiler alert, they did, but if they succeeded, what form of government would take the place of the monarchy? Well, the answer was a republic. Now, history, however, did not give them much confidence that a republic would survive very long, especially for 13 colonies stretched out, former colonies stretched out along the Atlantic coastline. If there was to be no king or queen, what would bind the new nation together? Well, the answer is virtue. A virtuous people embracing charity and tolerance for all would sustain a viable, coherent republic. This is what philosophers, past and present, told them. A bit unrealistic, perhaps, but the options were few. In a dangerous world, fragmentation would be disastrous. So the next question is, how does a nation preserve and enhance virtue? And that's where we come in, a liberal arts education. Education and independence went hand in hand. A liberal arts education guarantees virtue. It guarantees the independence of the individual and the independence of the nation. In the opinion of the Founding Fathers, quote, a liberal arts educated individual would be reasonable, tolerant, honest, virtuous, and candid. Such a person would stand on elevated ground in order to have a large view of human affairs and would be free of prejudice and parochialism. Or as John Adams, revolutionary and future president, said, quote, "Virtuous persons are all those who have received a liberal education in arts and sciences. And it does not matter whether they be descended from magistrates or officers of government, or from farmers, merchants, mechanics, or laborers, or whether they be rich or poor. A liberal arts education would save the nation and elevate the individual." Thomas Jefferson urged his beloved daughter to learn music, dance, and French, and to read, read, read. He told her that in this way she would preserve her independence, even if she married a blockhead. Now, it would be nice if that were the end of the story, but independence was for all. In the decades to come, women such as Catherine Beecher, Susan B. Anthony, Frances Willard advocated for a liberal arts education that would break women from the confinement of a separate sphere. In 1848, at the Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls, New York, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott condemned a system that, quote, "denied women the facilities for obtaining a thorough education," that a college education would secure to women an equal participation with men in the various trades, professions, and commerce. And of course, 5 years later, Cornell College was founded for that purpose. It would be nice if that were the end of the story, but the emancipation of 4 million slaves provides another remarkable chapter. After the Civil War, Northern missionaries and teachers who came south were stunned by what they experienced. Freedmen and freed women were united in their determination to get an education. Self-government depended upon it. Old and young flocked to the schools by the thousands. Children in the day, adults at night, all sensed the advantage they would derive from learning. And that advantage was independence. Now, those same truths obviously exist today. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the greatest accomplishment is to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you into something else. And if you're not a big Ralph Waldo Emerson fan, let me quote from my favorite philosopher, or philosophers, Green Day. "Revolt against the honor to obey." A liberal arts education is the key to the preservation of independence. And it doesn't matter what your major is. You could be a chemistry, psychology, or finance major. Or even a religion, French, classics, German, music, or a history major. They are valuable too. It's true. Independent persons preserve an independent republic, and never let artificial intelligence take away your voice, cloud your vision, or stunt your own genius. Because knowing what was, understanding what is, allows each of us to see what should be. Now, so many years ago, your mother, your father, maybe a grandparent, took you by the hand and led you into your first school. I'm sure you were fearful. I'm sure there were tears shed by both. But there was hope that you would learn and become independent and free. Well, maybe not too independent and free. Always call your parents. And today, she who held that little hand has had her hope fulfilled, for here you are, a Cornell graduate. And finally, as your time at Cornell has ended, so too my time at Cornell nears a conclusion. And I want to seize the occasion to thank my family, my colleagues, past and present, and you, who have made possible what little success I've enjoyed. Now, it's true, and I know some of you are saying this, it's true that once in a while I have given you a hard time. But that's only fair, because on occasion you gave me a hard time. I have endeavored to make you laugh because you have given me joy and made me laugh. And I hope that you have learned from me and my great colleagues, because we have always learned from you, and I thank you deeply for that. We all know that you will make us proud. You provide hope for a 250-year-old republic, for you are a Cornell graduate. Take care and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Phil. Will Professor of Mathematics and Statistics Ann Cannon please escort Professor of Mathematics James Freeman to the platform?
Each year at commencement, we recognize faculty retiring from full-time duties who have served the college with distinction by awarding them the honorary title of Professor Emeritus or Professor Emerita. Today, I am pleased to recognize 4 faculty members who have been nominated by their colleagues and granted this distinction by the Board of Trustees.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present James Freeman for the conferring of the rank of Professor Emeritus of Mathematics.
Professor Freeman's colleagues in the Mathematics and Statistics Department have prepared the following citation. Jim, for 41 years, you've been a treasured member of first the Department of Mathematics and later the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. Your concern for students, support for your colleagues, and the college have been incredibly strong and unwavering. You reach students in ways many of us don't, both in the class and in the many office hours you spend with students. While your teaching method can seem unorganized at times, for many students, that free-spirited approach is exciting and intriguing, allowing them to see themselves in mathematics. When an alumni math major was asked to describe their impression of you for this citation, their reply was, Professor Freeman pushed students to learn more than they thought they could. His excitement for mathematics carried over in his teaching even when his students tested his patience. Students knew he was always on their side. The lessons he taught about mathematics, perseverance, and challenges stay with us for decades, whether students pursue careers in mathematics or not. You've also left a mark on the faculty in the department. Your unique perspective on math and life has been a valuable asset, sustaining this department throughout the decades. You've taught us lessons on how to reach students based on what they need to know and how to have fun doing it. Your mentorship has helped several young department members feel comfortable in their skin and identity as a professor when they were new to the college. Your presence as a colleague and a mentor will not be forgotten. You are a theoretical mathematician, an algebraist, and it is in theoretical mathematical courses that you've been the most comfortable. But your enthusiasm for teaching and learning knows no bounds. Over the years, your agile approach to teaching aided you in expanding your repertoire to a variety of courses. In Math 110, a course for non-majors that you titled On the Shoulders of Giants, Great Mathematical Ideas, you introduced students to the complex ideas in mathematics at a level where they could engage with you. Each time you taught the course, it was different, a different topic, a different approach, a different way of assessing the students. You stretched your wings farther and tackled teaching our introductory statistics course. Statistical thinking and mathematical thinking are very different, but you always strove to teach the course as a statistician would. Finally, your impact on Cornell has not been limited to the classroom. You've been a public face of the department at picnics, conferences, and Cornell's admission events. You managed the college's first internet connection and designed, created, and maintained the college's first webpage for at least a decade. For that work, President Les Garner bestowed upon you the title Webmaster Emeritus. Jim, thank you for giving so much of yourself to the college for such a long time.
For these accomplishments, and in recognition of Professor Freeman's outstanding service to Cornell College, by vote of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer on him today the rank of Professor Emeritus of Mathematics.
Will Associate Professor of Music Chris Nakielski please escort L.L. Hemline Professor of Liberal Arts and Professor of Music James Martin to the platform.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present James Martin for the conferring of the rank of Professor Emeritus of Music.
Professor Martin's colleagues in the music department have prepared the following citation. Dr. James Martin joined the Cornell faculty in the fall of 1981. In his 45 years on campus, James cultivated a career truly grounded in an ideal vision of what the liberal arts can be. All of us, the students and faculty who have known James, have been the beneficiaries of this work. James's early time at Cornell was spent primarily teaching piano and music theory. But as needs changed within the college, the department, and within his own life, James continually reinvented himself as a teacher, a scholar, and a learner. He added music history to his teaching load, as well as an array of vibrant interdisciplinary courses that evolved over time. Through James, Cornell students have come face to face with everything from the piano works of Beethoven and the operas of Wagner to the iconoclastic concept art of John Cage and the strident punk anthems of the Stooges, to the aesthetic philosophy of Schopenhauer and the novels of Toni Morrison and James Joyce. Students came to know that a course with James would be an intense immersion, where they would be expected to read, speak, and write extensively, and where they could expect the same intense commitment from their professor, whose passion for his subject would inevitably spill over each day into beautiful illustrations of musical examples at the piano. James's professional life beyond Cornell has been similarly interdisciplinary. He's had a lifelong relationship with the piano, winning his first major competition at the age of 12, and eventually completing a Doctor of Music degree in piano performance at Northwestern University. He is also a music historian and a scholar of the humanities, broadly defined. He has been selected 3 times as a National Endowment for the Humanities Fellow, participating in programs at Columbia, Stanford, and Princeton. He was awarded an NIH grant in 2012 and was named a Fulbright Scholar Specialist for the Freie Universität in Berlin in 2017. He has been both a fellow and director of the ACM Newberry Library Program in the Humanities. At Cornell, in 2013 to 2014, and again in 2014 and 15, he was named the Richard and Norma Small Distinguished Professor. and in 2015 named the L.L. Hamlin Professor in the Liberal Arts. The study of opera has occupied the biggest place in his scholarship, but he has published and spoken on a wide-ranging number of other topics, including racism, misogyny, and anti-Semitism in music, and the role of the fine arts within the liberal arts. Exciting ideas from all of these professional endeavors have always found their way back to Cornell. James embedded them into his courses, his on-campus lectures, and into symposium and CSRI projects for his students. But perhaps James's most important contribution to the liberal arts mission of our campus has been his care for all of us as fellow humans. James is one of the kindest, most generous people you will ever meet. He always takes time to listen. He always strives to understand. He always assumes the most charitable interpretation of a situation, and he will always try to work toward a creative, positive solution to a problem. If you know James, I'm sure you've experienced each of these traits personally. But especially for those of us who have been his students and his junior colleagues, James's spirit of kindness, support, and unfailingly positive energy has enriched all of our lives.
For these accomplishments, and in recognition of Professor Martin's outstanding service to Cornell, by vote of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer on him today the rank of Professor Emeritus of Music.
Will Professor of Art Susanna Biando-Gemmell please escort Professor of Art History Christina Pengech to the platform?
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Christina Pengech for the conferring of the rank of Professor Emerita of Art History.
Professor Pengech's colleagues in the Art and Art History Department have prepared the following citation. Dr. Christina Pengech is a beloved member of the Cornell faculty. In 1996, she joined the college as the Peter Paul Luce Gallery Coordinator and Lecturer in Art History. Shortly after, she became Cornell College's first full-time Professor of Art History. Since then, she has served the college for almost 30 years, committing herself to teaching, first and foremost. Chris was instrumental in the development of the art history major in 2008, which remains a vibrant area that serves not only the art department, but the college broadly. Dr. Pengech's accomplishments and accolades are vast. In 2018, she was awarded Exemplary Teacher of the Year by the Higher Education and Ministry of the United Methodist Church. That same year, she wrote the definition of feminist art for the Wiley-Blackwell Encyclopedia of Gender and Sexuality Studies. Her research has been selected and presented at the annual College Art Association Conference, and she was instructor for the Smithsonian Journeys program in Sicily and southern Italy, and even worked at the Vatican's secret archives. Perhaps most representative of the respect of the Cornell community has for her, Chris has been voted by the students and selected by the administration to give 3 separate Cornell commencement addresses. And as many of you remember, each of these addresses included a large-scale visual prop. We would expect no less. What is most extraordinary as an art historian is Dr. Pengech's range of expertise and ability to bring these subjects to life in the classroom. Her PhD focused on Southern Baroque architecture, painting, and sculpture, along with Northern Renaissance painting and gender studies. During her tenure, Chris taught courses in classical Greek and Roman, African and African American, Native American, Latinx, and feminist art, along with the first queer art history courses offered at the college. She served as core faculty in the Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies interdisciplinary program. Her off-campus course, Rome Reborn, covered the art and architecture of antiquity to the Renaissance to fascism. It is few art historians that can teach such a breadth of art history topics with such expertise and enthusiasm in the classroom. Dr. Pengech has an unwavering commitment to her students. She has been a devoted advocate for students of color and the LGBTQIA+ community on campus, serving as the faculty advisor for the Alliance Student Group and working closely with the Office of Intercultural Life. She was the commencement speaker at the first ever rainbow graduation ceremony on campus in 2018. Her work with the Cornell Summer Research Institute, reattributing the college's Sonnenschein collection of 58 old master's drawings, included both a digital and physical exhibition of the works. And just last year, Chris facilitated the return of a Mississippian Native American funerary statue to the Muskogee Nation as a part of a student capstone project. Chris is a teacher first, and students often refer to her courses as life-changing. One colleague noted that Chris didn't live in Mount Vernon or Iowa City. Chris lives at Cornell College. She is the embodiment of liberal arts faculty, with majors going on to become professors, museum curators, arts administrators, in addition to doctors and lawyers, real estate agents, and more. She believes strongly in mentoring the whole person, which is why you might find her teaching students to nurse bottle baby kittens in a continuation of her almost 14 years of service to the Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center. Chris, your deep love for your students and your field is evident in all that you have accomplished. You are a teacher and a human that will continue to change lives.
For these accomplishments, and in recognition of Professor Pengech's outstanding service to Cornell, by vote of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer on her today the rank of Professor Emerita of Art History.
Will Associate Professor of Computer Science Ajit Chavan please escort Professor of Computer Science Leon Tabak to the platform?
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Leon Tabak for the conferring of the rank of Professor Emeritus of Computer Science.
Professor Tabak's colleagues in the Computer Science Department have prepared the following citation. Leon has been a dedicated member of the Cornell faculty, consistently demonstrating a deep commitment to student learning, professional engagement, and community impact. Over his 37 years at Cornell, he has embodied the Cornell's mission by connecting classroom instruction with practical application and fostering a culture of intellectual curiosity and growth. At the heart of Leon's teaching is a commitment to making complex concepts accessible while supporting students as they develop their own understanding. As one student noted, his classes are a journey of learning together, where he constructs beginner-friendly examples that invite participation. Rather than solely delivering subject matter, he invites students to learn collaboratively, modeling intellectual curiosity and fostering the skills necessary for lifelong learning. This emphasis on self-directed learning is particularly important in computer science, where rapid technological change requires continual adaptation. Leon exemplifies this approach by pursuing professional certifications, redesigning his courses to include new programming languages and tools, and sharing his learning experiences with both students and colleagues. As the college emphasizes the integration of education and vocation, Leon consistently emphasizes this mission. He incorporates professional perspectives into his courses by inviting guest speakers, showcasing alumni career trajectories, and supporting student involvement in conferences and coding competitions. At the same time, he underscores the enduring value of a liberal arts education by helping students recognize how skills such as critical thinking, analytical reasoning, and effective communication are applicable across diverse careers. He encourages students to connect their academic experiences with future professional opportunities while broadening their understanding of the diverse pathways available within computer science beyond software engineering. Leon's dedication to connecting education with practice extends to his broader professional activities. Outside Cornell, he has contributed significantly to the computer science community through involvement with the local chapter of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers and the College Board. His roles in AP Computer Science include exam grading, curriculum development, and training of K-12 teachers. Through these efforts, he has influenced computer science education and the professional development of educators well beyond Cornell. He also regularly brings students to professional meetings such as Iowa Code Camp and IEEE local chapter meetings, offering them valuable opportunities to network with professionals. Finally, Leon has always participated in shared governance by serving on various committees and working groups. He was a key contributor to the Berry Career Institute's transition to a focus on career preparedness. Although he has gradually reduced his involvement following the arrival of new colleagues, saying, "You are the future of the department. I will let you take the lead, and I am here to support you." He continues to serve wherever called upon by his peers. A recent example is his service in his final year at the college as vice chair of the Reappointment, Tenure, and Promotion Committee. The work of that committee includes the joyful responsibility of recognizing and celebrating the accomplishments of colleagues, even as it is, particularly this year, quite difficult. His willingness to serve in that role reflects a deep commitment to his colleagues and to Cornell. This exemplifies the generosity, integrity, and devotion to the common good that have distinguished his long and valued service to the institution. Thank you, Leon.
For these accomplishments, and in recognition of Professor Tabak's outstanding service to Cornell, by vote of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer on him today the rank of Professor Emeritus of Computer Science.
We now come to the most important part of our ceremony today, the presentation of candidates for degrees. President Brand, I have the honor of presenting candidates for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science and Engineering, and Bachelor of Special Studies degrees. These students have successfully completed their course of study, have been recommended by the faculty, and have been approved by the Board of Trustees. I now respectfully request that you, by your official act, confer upon them individually their degrees and admit them all to the associated privileges and obligations.
Thank you. Members of the class of 2026, will you please stand? Upon the recommendation of the faculty, by vote of the Board of Trustees, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the sovereign state of Iowa, I hereby confer upon you the baccalaureate degrees you have earned during your course of study here at Cornell College, together with all of the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. I now invite you to move the tassels on your caps to the left-hand side, signifying that you are college graduates. You may be seated. Interim Provost Copper, if you would please read the names of our candidates. She's supposed to be speaking.
Ava Lynn Clausen Tubbs. Mackenzie Ingbert. Eliza Marie Copas. Riley K. Van Drieser, cum laude. Heidi Lynn Jorgensen, summa cum laude. Haley Noel Corlon, summa cum laude. Gavin Thomas Sokup, summa cum laude. Silas Owen Hamos, magna cum laude. Cole Benjamin Reed. Anna Renee Lanai DeWitt, cum laude. Aubrey Elizabeth Hendrickson, cum laude. Brett Michael Pelfrey. Garrett Thomas Warren. Devin J. Curarte. Nathaniel James Bukowski Canals. Eric Henry Walker. Brody Reese DeSummeries Hawtrey. Benjamin Ivy Schwartz. Caden James Lynch. Brandon Terry Warnke, cum laude. Jessica Jean Zemicki, summa cum laude. Charlie Ann Coleman. Zachary Aaron Jensen. Joshua Michael Arthur Chamberlain. Robin Lee Schaefer. Nathan Elliott Russell. Luca William Shainsey. Perry Cooper Wilson III. Gavin William Brown. Alton Jones Jr. Christopher Todd Morgan, cum laude. Nate Vincent Passetti. Jackson Robert Simmons. Jack Calvin Rogers, summa cum laude. Garrett Thomas Rail, summa cum laude. Ian John Schilling, magna cum laude. Sean Fisher Giffen, magna cum laude. Carson Lewis King, cum laude. Jackson Marshall Hill. Thomas Zachary Hunt. Zachary Orick, cum laude. Jonah Chad Seeley, cum laude. Mark Everett Smith, magna cum laude. Willow Jade Dennison, magna cum laude. Rebecca Jo Galicia. Casper Joseph Wilson. Mercedes Joy Chisholm, summa cum laude. Marcus Avery Torre Stewart. John Leon Pennell. Serafina Ann Shorik. Amina Arwa Abdullahi. Brittany Teeden. Greta Catherine Lees. Cameron Lynn Reimers, summa cum laude. Jack Ryan Gross. Emma Jasmine Ciesla, cum laude. Autumn N. Holstrom, magna cum laude. Fiona Katarina Harriet Lawrence, magna cum laude. Hannah May Kalbrenner, summa cum laude. Shaylin A. Bradbury. Eric Montano, Jr. Mina May Johnson Barua, summa cum laude. James A. Belding, magna cum laude. Orion Peavyhouse, cum laude. Nora Carlene Slavensky. Mara A. Shelton. Jaden Rose Chenoweth. Riley K. Wickham, cum laude. Audrey Rose Small. Parker Anthony Voigt. Zachary Ten Ong. Jackson Reed Barton. Ethan Patrick Yunkers. Brody Nathaniel Callahan. Benjamin Forget. Travis James Wells. Benjamin Yaron Ephraim. Esteban Jose Alfaro. Emily Patricia Howard. Patrick John Hetzel Warhol. Isabella Olson. Ella Courtney Becker, summa cum laude. Carly Jo Puffer. Ella Ann McLaughlin, summa cum laude. Emmeline Sue Hockemeyer, summa cum laude. Jeannie Ibasi Tao. Elufsura Dermanja, summa cum laude. Bailey Williams, magna cum laude. Jonathan Hunter Raper, cum laude. Aiden David Nicholas. Elliot James Cooney. Eli Joseph Sneed. Jace Michael Van Pelt. Christian Gael Diaz, summa cum laude. Landon Brian Schemmel. Austin Henry Wilkins, magna cum laude. Jaden Matthias Rael. Woo. Jackson Douglas Brinker, cum laude. Cheyenne Elizabeth Mulford. Ava Antonia Picard, cum laude. Maya May Marie Jones, summa cum laude. Louis Stephen Page, magna cum laude. Jordan Grace Gear. Haley Nicole Sevenbergen, cum laude. Delaney Nicole Barfels, cum laude. Morgan Allers. Bridget Elaine Anzelk, cum laude. Meredith Grace Sconce, summa cum laude. Jordan Rebecca Schwab, cum laude. Robin Tsukumi Gillette, summa cum laude. Ella Miranda Henze, summa cum laude. Ashley Marie Drake, cum laude. Ilsa Catherine Jeffrey. Bryn Miroslavich, magna cum laude. Sabrina Kate Ibanez. Hannah Marie Mish. Haley Elise Sealer. Camille Ann Diaz. Haley Kristen Taylor. Smriti Neupane. Tanatswa Michelle Hamadziripi, summa cum laude. Aras Yilmaz, summa cum laude. Michael Sean Lotana Osai, summa cum laude. Mahmoud Wael Elawadi. Malcolm Lamar Woodson. Brianna Michelle Winter Hirsch. Bryce Cameron Stevens. Elena Christine Gonzalez. Andrew Christopher Cheatham. Andrew Christopher Johnson. Ryan Matthew Sanders, magna cum laude. Gabrielle William LeFleur. August Alton Cron. Luke Henry Viano. Nicholas William Fider. Garrett Aaron Micholka. Hannah Lynn Kinnikine. Eamon Byers Garton. Louis Inglehouse Fawcett. Jenny Davis, summa cum laude. Olivia Rose Sauer Dudziak, magna cum laude. Luisa Maria Mercedes Lourdes Bedell. Anaya Yvette Shorter Adams, magna cum laude. Litch Bradley Higdon. Isaac Van Westrinen. Ethan David Chestnut. Luke Russell Wiley. Isaac Jacob Holzenbeck. Ryan Robert Jacobs, magna cum laude. Peyton Christina Earl, magna cum laude. Isabella Catherine Strauss, summa cum laude. Kelsey Claire Smithy, cum laude. Emmett Ross Kalish. Portia Whitlow Bowman, cum laude. Janae Lee Bolson, magna cum laude. Wybe Violet Warmbold, cum laude. Jacob Tyler Hidding. Corbin Shope Jensen, summa cum laude. Ricardo Federico Garcia Lore. Kylie Carolyn Berry, summa cum laude. Grace Julianne Jerez. Tyler Ryan Sheridan. Jacqueline Ruby Parada. Abby Elizabeth Gurman Anderson. Piper Lee Ravenscroft, magna cum laude. Frida Day Hilbrick. Junshuen Leo, magna cum laude. Evan Thomas Weber, cum laude. Oops. Jacob Thomas Yonker. Jaden Adonis Cade. Janissa Kate Weber. Jennifer Rose Deeney. Reese Bridgens, cum laude. Olivia Cotton. Joanny Alvarado Martinez. Yonis Abdurrahman Saeed, cum laude. Adam Conrad Cooklin. Margaret Grace Helland. Rachel Ann Sorescu, cum laude. Emma Shelley Webster. Gwen Grace Westervelt, magna cum laude. Katie Grace Struck. August Gerardo, cum laude. Jack August Carlson, summa cum laude. Angel Antonio Rosado. Let's go! Angel. Gabriel Munoz. Christian Andrew Gonzalez. Juan Manuel Guerrero Jr. William Reese Garman. William Hamilton Borer Seablum. Harrison Matthew Cargill. Isabella Rose Leo, summa cum laude. Devon J. White, cum laude. Max Scott Cahoon. Bruce Moore McGlynn. Eddie Alberto Banda. Bailey Grace Hancocks. Lena Josephine Fogarty, cum laude. Ella Hurley, cum laude. Avin Celeste Hajian. Madeline Rose Ward. Jackson McGuire. Haley R. Beatty, cum laude. Colby Ryan Allen, cum laude. Caleb Asher Leslie. Auden Anthony Rader. Anthony Arismendi. Oriana McCannon. Mackenzie Elizabeth Turley. Sowelu Nantena. Logan Gray Mosling. Isabella Marie Moore. Eli Joe Martin. Ellie Joe Martin. Riley Isabel Edwards, magna cum laude. Kiana Manson. Sophia Lynn Cole, cum laude. Evelyn Elizabeth Benavides. Aria Lara Spears. Emmy Marie Fegans Taylor, cum laude. Blake Palm. Mark Thomas Liberco, summa cum laude. Vanessa Lynn Taylor. Emma Sophia Landit Kruger. Salem Damali, cum laude. Chrysalis Paulina Goring, magna cum laude. Caden Rhodes Branchflower. Juniper J. Bennington, cum laude. Gavin Baker Wallace. Veronica Joyce Schuhart, magna cum laude. Kira Jackson Short. William Matthew Davis. Cecilia Suzanne Iola Newman. Evelyn Olson Fritz. Panayotis Anastasio. Maya Marie Neymeyer. Jaden Alexandra Kelly. Elizabeth Christine Bixby. Charlotte Brooke McHughes, cum laude. Peyton Grace Serrata, cum laude. Catherine L. Nelson. Dalen K. Rhodes. Monet Scott Rowell. Mr. President, this concludes the reading of the names of the I want to read the names of the folks who could not be here at graduation. Harrison Early. Gershom O. Alma. Chihiro Kawase. Aiden Michael Jamie Lurch. Antonio Russo. Emma Rochelle Shipley, magna cum laude. Yanette Solis Roman, cum laude. Emma E. Van Sickle, magna cum laude. Mr. President, now this concludes the reading of the names of the graduates of the Cornell College class of 2026.
Thank you. So I'd like to tell you a story about someone named Howard Schultz. You may know who this person is. In the early 1980s, Schultz was working for a small coffee company called Starbucks. At the time, Starbucks didn't serve drinks, it sold beans and it sold equipment. Then he traveled to Italy and he became captivated by something different. The cafe culture. Espresso bars as gathering places, spaces for conversation and community, not just for transactions. When he returned, he had every reason to believe that his idea would not work in the United States. Market research suggested Americans preferred not espresso, but drip coffee. Think coffee in a pot at Denny's. It's what the French sometimes uncharitably call sock juice. Starbucks leadership saw no demand for cafe-style experiences. Investors were skeptical. There was no data to prove that the concept could even scale. And there was certainly no guarantee that customers in the United States would pay a premium prices for what was essentially a cultural import. So when Schultz pitched the idea internally, it was rejected. All the facts pointed in one direction. No, don't do this. But Schultz felt something else, not just about coffee, but about experience. He believed Americans didn't yet know they wanted this, but that they would, if it were done properly. He couldn't prove it, the data didn't support it, but he could not ignore it either. So he left Starbucks and he started his own company, Il Giornale. He tested the idea, and eventually he raised enough capital to buy Starbucks and transform it into the company that we all know today. So this wasn't reckless guesswork. Schultz understood the risks, he knew the numbers, he heard the skepticism, but in the end, the decisive factor wasn't the evidence or the data alone. It wasn't the facts. It was an informed intuition about human behavior and unmet desire. He once described it not as a calculated bet, but as a belief he couldn't shake, even when the evidence didn't quite line up. So there he stood at a crossroads where the spreadsheets said no, the experts said unlikely, and something in him said, this is right anyway. And so he decided. I tell you this because we all do this constantly. Every day, every moment, we make decisions. We make small ones. What should I wear? What should I eat? And we make large ones. Should I take that job? Should I go to graduate school? Should I stay in my parents' basement any longer? That was funny, everyone. Is this the person I want to build a life with? These are big decisions. Over time, you will make good decisions and you will make bad ones. You'll make easy ones and difficult ones. You'll make decisions you're proud of and some you wish you could take back and do over. You'll get some right, you'll get some wrong, whatever right and wrong ultimately even mean in this context. Decision-making is not occasional, it's constant, and it is one of the central activities of our lives. And you want to be good at it, or at least as good as you can be at it. Some believe that good decisions come down to facts and reasons. You identify the credible evidence, you analyze it carefully, you think critically, and the right answer will reveal itself. It's an appealing idea. It feels principled, it feels reliable, it feels clean. If it were only that simple. If facts and reasons alone were enough, we wouldn't need to grapple, as we have done at Cornell, with differing perspectives. We wouldn't study rhetoric, how to communicate artfully and persuasively, or wrestle with the role of emotions, relationships, or even our own biology. We wouldn't have conflict or courts to resolve it. Now, don't get me wrong. Facts and reasons matter deeply, but they are rarely the whole story. Some believe that decision-making is ultimately about your intuition. You gather your facts, you weigh your options, you might even make a careful list of pros and cons, and then at some point, something else takes over. You make a choice that feels right, accepting the trade-offs that come with it. That instinct, your intuition, is shaped by so many things, your experiences, your values, your relationships, your environment. It's not random. It's accumulated judgment, often operating just below the surface. So perhaps the real answer that I'm suggesting is not one or the other, facts or intuition, but really it's about both. I think that's really the lesson that I'm trying to communicate about Howard Schultz. I ask that you be disciplined about gathering facts, seek out credible evidence, think carefully and think critically, and at some point, you also have to have the confidence to trust your intuition, to make a decision informed by both what you know and also what you sense. You won't always be right, I already said that, and you won't always be wrong, but you will decide, and that's important. That discipline of making decisions while accepting uncertainty, it requires humility. You will never have all the information you want, I guarantee you. But I hope that your time at Cornell has helped you to value the many forms that knowledge can take, patterns informed by data and analysis, as well as the unique lived experiences of others. After all, every story, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, is in its own way an additional form of valuable evidence for you and for all of us. I also hope that Cornell has helped you to strengthen something else that is less tangible but equally important, and it may be even more important, which is your intuition. And how do you develop it? Just as you have been, through experience, by trying new things, by listening carefully to others, and by reflecting honestly on what you learn and what you hear. And over time, these experiences will sharpen your judgment, they will help you to see more clearly, and they will guide your decisions. So, as you begin the next chapter of your lives, remember this: facts build the case, intuition delivers the verdict. With a Cornell College degree, you are now a part of 173 years of our history. You join an exceptional, a remarkable community of alumni around the world, and they are waiting for you. And stay connected to us here on the hilltop. It will always be one of your homes. So please, everyone, if you would join me in congratulating our class of 2026.
We have one Latin lesson today, alma mater, literally nourishing mother. In Latin denotes both a college's anthem, which we are about to sing, and the college that you have graduated from. Graduates, a few short moments from now, you will be able to say that Cornell is your alma mater. Will our alma mater singers please join us on stage now? As we close our ceremony today, those on stage and our faculty will recess, after which graduates will recess to the back of the arena to pick up their diplomas. Enclosed in the envelope with your diplomas will be your meal tickets for brunch served through 1:30 p.m. Guests, please remain at your seats until all students have recessed to the back of the arena. Once students receive their diplomas, they may greet family, friends, and faculty back in the front of the arena. Now, please stand and remain standing for the singing of our alma mater, Cornell, Greater Be Thy Name, with the audience joining for verse 3, followed by the benediction.
Thousands have from far and near heard our chimes so sweetly ring. Countless voices here will sing praises of our college dear. Cornell, greater be thy name than e'er in the days of yore. Cornell, brighter be thy fame in the years that lie before. Here we stand, a loyal band, firm for all that's good and right, by the purple and the bright. May thy students ever stand. Cornell, greater be thy name as love scenes before them rise. Then we'll sing and then we'll say, Cornell, greater be thy name than e'er in the days of yore. Cornell, brighter be thy fame in the years that lie before.
A friendly reminder, as Provost Copper said before, following the conclusion of the service, please stay at your seats and keep the aisles clear as our graduates and faculty recess. Today, you cross the threshold and leave this community. But as others have said, you join a group of kindred souls who have come and gone before you. While you step onto a path unknown, wherever you go, fellow travelers are there to greet you, to guide you, and be your companions, whatever joys or difficulties your journey may bring. May the Spirit guide you as this next chapter of your life unfolds. May you enliven hope and create good in the world. May you go forth and do that which calls you to make this world a more loving and more compassionate place. May you use your skills and gifts in this world every day. May it be so. Amen. Congratulations, class of 2026.